Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Gardening with One Knee in Zone 5B. My name is Janelle and I'm here to help take the intimidation out of gardening, maybe getting you planting a few seeds of things that you enjoy eating, maybe even preserving, and help propelling you on a path of food independence. Today's video is about how do I prepare my little seedlings in case we're going to have a storm. And up until, let's see, last week, Wednesday, we had a nice warm day. But the evening, Thursday night and Friday night, we still had frost. But now it's been warming up. In fact, I had my windows open today to let the fresh air in the house. But they are saying possible strong storms tomorrow for sure. And then I think we're going to get rain on Friday and Saturday. So how do I prepare my little seedlings that I have out here in the ground for a storm? I always have to be mindful, and maybe this is just me being a protective plant parent. I have to be mindful that these are seedlings. So any storms, any torrential downpours, any hail is going to damage something fragile. Now I'm just going to show you about the size of my cabbages and kohlrabi here. So right here, that's a cabbage, and that's a cabbage. That's a fava bean. We'll talk about that another time. And then here we've got kohlrabi in this little bed here. And back over there, that's an artichoke. And over there, those are mustard greens. But anyway, oh, and all these white leaves, that's from my magnolia tree, which is right back here. That's flowering, but it's ending its flowering stage. But anyway, so what do we do when we have a storm coming? So to protect my plants, and I did a video about this, but I use old soda bottles and I cut off the bottom. And then I have these sticks in the ground. Let me see if I can do this so that you can see. It's a soda bottle. And then I'm just going to cover my plant like this. So now the speed of the rain, it's going to come down on that, but it's not going to damage these little leaves. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow morning probably. I'm going to leave them uncovered tonight because it's not going to freeze, and I want them to get used to the fresh air and have a little bit of cooler temperatures, because these plants here, these are all like cool weather crops other than the fava beans. So then what do I do with something like my artichoke there, which by the way, my neighbor started those from seed and she gave me one, so I'm really hoping I have some success this year. So what do I do to protect this from heavy rains? I could cover it with a bucket. Let me see if I can show you this, because this bucket is tall enough to protect this plant. But what I most likely will do is I will cover it with this crate. And again, the rain can get in, but the speed of the raindrops, or if there's hail, isn't going to damage the plant. Now, last year, one evening, probably around this time, no, maybe, I think it was a little bit later because we had our tomatoes in the ground. We had a storm, kind of like what they're preparing us for right now, where it rained, it hailed, high winds, and I had everything out here covered with crates or the soda bottles, and everything was fine. I did have something covered with, I think I had kind of like, it might have been like a plastic trough kind of thing, or a plastic bin, because I was running out of things to cover my plants with, and that blew over. That plant took a beating. It never got really big, but maybe that's what its destiny was in the beginning of the year too. I don't know, but it never got really big. It still produced. That was a tomato plant, but that's what I'm going to be doing now. Some of these plants here too, like the fava beans, I can cover those with more crates like this because I have more of these. And actually we'll go over here and I'll show you what kind of level of crazy I have going on. I just had a plant sale, rummage sale here last weekend, so a lot of this stuff is still out here, but I have these crates here like this. They're a nice heavy plastic. I got them at a local greenhouse years ago for $2 a piece, but the very first time I ever bought them, way back in the day, like probably 15 years ago, they were only $1 a piece. So I consider myself very lucky. My motto is crates are great, because they do protect my plants. Even when I'm starting to harden off plants in spring, like say if it's something like this short, I'll have that in a crate, and then I'll just flip another one on top just to kind of diffuse the sunlight so that they don't get sunburnt. that is pretty much all I really wanted to say about preparing for a storm. Oh, the other thing too, I knew I was forgetting something. Right here, this is spinach. And you can kind of see how it's in rows. So you can also see how fragile looking those little leaves are. So these I'm going to cover with crates just to diffuse the speed of a raindrop should we get a downpour. There was just like a brief talk that there could be a possible tornado, but I really doubt it. But I'm sure they just have to say that out there so that people kind of take things serious. The other thing I have over here are wasabi radishes. You can kind of see I have them all like in a row. This here is a fava bean, but the wasabi radishes here, I will go through the efforts of covering those with a crate too. Again, just to slow down the speed of a raindrop. You can hear the Baltimore Oriole out there kind of yelling at me. There's one singing, and then when they go, that's them chattering, like they're not real happy with me being present. Hey, I give them the jelly. They should be happy to see me. The ducks are happy in the morning when they see me giving them corn. Could learn some manners. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you how I'm going to prepare for heavy rains or a storm that has possible hail coming, how I protect my plants. Here too, again, you can see I've got these little buckets. I was covering these when we had frost. This is a strawberry spinach, a goji berry, and another strawberry spinach. So if I use those buckets though, I'm going to have to weight those down so that the wind doesn't catch them and blow them over. So that is pretty much all I wanted to kind of share with you. Oh, there's a chipmunk. I'll tell you what, in a month they'll be eating right out of my hands. Hey Chippy, how you doing? Attention of a goldfish. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you what I go through to prepare for a storm. It's not a lot of extra work because the area is small. So let's say, for example, if you had plants on a balcony, you could technically move them closer to the building to protect them. Maybe if they're in pots, you might even want to drag them indoors in a garage or right inside your walkway or where your door is, just to drag them inside just to protect them. Sometimes if the rain really pounds down on young plants, they're going to struggle recovering. Another thing that I don't have in the ground are my tomatoes and peppers. As you can see right here, I got tomatoes still here. And I chose not to plant them until after the storm. The soil's warming up and the days are warming up. Next week is going to be a little bit cooler again. Oh, there's a duck. There's one of the mallards. Sorry. I do want to get these in the ground. They're here by the house. It's somewhat protected versus being way out in the open. So I'll be able to kind of keep an eye on them and babysit them just to get them going. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please like, follow, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends what I do for storm preparing. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again so much for your time. Have a great day. Bye. Oh yeah, one more thing. When we're expecting a storm of any kind with high winds, I always close my gate so that anything that I have in the yard here that gets caught by the wind doesn't end up in the water down there. In the past, I have found a couple of beach balls down there. One time there was a ladder, and one time there was an old watering can. So I just don't want my stuff to end up down there.